What is going on, my horror fans and friends? It is your boy Austin, aka Woodsboro Fanatic. I have now seen Nosferatu twice, and after giving it some time to sit, really think about the film, it's time to give it a review. This is the latest film from the great Robert Eggers, and if I'm being honest, when it comes to modern day horror directors, he's arguably my favorite. I love the craftsmanship he puts into his films, the passion, the attention to detail, and I just love that you always know what you're getting with his films. He has a very distinct taste. He has a very distinct identity in terms of the way he directs, and I think he's just arguably the most unique horror director there is in the space today. This is a remake of the original 1922 film. If you haven't seen that, I would highly suggest checking it out. Not only to see where Robert Eggers got the roots of his film, but also because it is one of the most important films in the history of not only horror but films in general. It's a beautiful masterpiece, and honestly, it's just cool to be able to see the progression of where we started to where Eggers has taken this now. And I learned from watching multiple interviews with Eggers about this film that this is actually a passion project for him. This is something that's been cooking in his brain since he was 9 years old, and this is a script that has been developed for more than 10 years. Truthfully, it's a beautiful companion piece to the original, and you can certainly see the passion for this particular story. It is just rooted all throughout the film. I think without a doubt this is the most beautiful horror film of 2024, which I'm not saying very lightly because there were some beautiful pieces of art in the horror space between this, I Saw the TV Glow, Strange Darling. There's a few more, but what Eggers was able to create in this film is truly just artistry at its finest. It's filmmaking genius. The sets that he created, the way he was able to shoot in real locations. He always puts so much care and detail into the production design, which for me is always a reward as an audience, because it allows me to immerse myself into the environment that he spent so long creating. And he does it effortlessly in every single film of his. I mean, from the opening scene, the very first frame we get, you're immediately thrown into this world that he's created, and it's just brilliant. Not only is this the best looking horror film of the year to me, but I think that the magic that Eggers and his cinematographer were able to create together gifted us with some of the most breathtaking and beautiful shots of the year. In particular, the sequence with Nicholas Holt's character in the carriage when he arrives to Orlok's castle. Holy shit. There's a beautiful homage. I won't spoil it, but there's a shot from the original film that Eggers recreates in his own way, and the way him and his cinematographer had the scene lit, I thought was just fucking tremendous. The shot that we see in the trailer of the hand going over the city is stunning. There's also a sequence which to me is the most terrifying and unnerving sequence throughout the whole film, where Nicholas Holt's character is at the table with Count Orlok, and up to this point we haven't seen Orlok's face. It's lit very dimly with just candles, which is again spectacular. It's the lighting and the framing that I'm talking about, and it's lit in a way that we can't see his face. We can only hear his voice. Again, just another one of those sequences I'm talking about. That whole sequence made for some incredible shots. I'm not sure if this is as scary as The Witch for my own taste, but this film is incredibly unnerving. It's very disturbing at times, especially with just the themes at hand, the mood. The dialogue makes it incredibly uncomfortable, and a lot of the uncomfortability comes from the performance that Bill Skarsgård gives off as Count Orlok. And since we're talking about performances, let's just go ahead and talk about this cast, because when I first seen who was attached to this project in terms of the cast, I knew we had something special here. And what I didn't expect was for everyone to give not just good performances, but stellar performances from top to bottom. Everyone understood the assignment. There is not one actor or actress throughout this film who misses a beat. The commitment from everybody on this film to bring this project to life, to bring Robert Eggers' vision to life, is just spectacular. Aaron Taylor Johnson has not gotten enough love. Just he was arguably my favorite character throughout this film. I thought he was incredibly charismatic, added a sense of groundness that was needed in a situation that felt like it was out of the character's control. He always brought you right back to that feeling of we got it under control until we really don't. But the standout performances here are absolutely Lily Rose Depp and Bill Skarsgård. Lily, I was not familiar with your game, and I apologize for that, but you have added yourself to a list of some of the most incredible female performances that I can remember. Like, in terms of a full year, this year gave us just truly remarkable performances from women in lead roles. This was nothing short of that. This is arguably the best of those performances. What she's asked to do from a physical and emotional standpoint is it's incredible what she was able to pull off. And Bill Skarsgård is completely unrecognizable. He throws himself into this role, and if you didn't know he was on the casting list, or I mean, if you didn't know he was a part of this cast, you wouldn't have known it was him. The work he was able to do with his voice and the nature in which he portrays his character is intrinsic. It is disturbing. It's haunting, yet beautiful in a way. The dynamic between him and Lily Rose Depp's character is so fascinating. It's, again, incredibly disturbing, yet beautifully tragic. There's so much complexity to it, which honestly leads me to my favorite part of this film, or the part that stood out the most to me, was the writing of Robert Eggers. It's clear to me that he's excelled as a writer. Each one of his films have gotten better from a writing standpoint, whether it's the dialogue, whether it's how he handles tone, mood, whether it's thematically. I found this film to be incredibly thought-provoking because of his approach towards kind of unraveling the human nature and the dark sexual desires one may have, the feeling of hopelessness, the feeling of optimism. There's a lot here to unpack, and I appreciated that this was a lot deeper than I expected it to be for a remake. So fantastic job all around. The score, fucking fantastic, which you can expect from a Robert Eggers film. Again, it's just another key component to the mood that is looking to be created throughout this film. I thought this was fantastic, guys. I gave this a 9.5 out of 10. One of the best films of 2024.